And I don't think I will support Akufo-Addo. And that, in fact, any opportunity mayor, Mama Ghana Akufo-Addo because he does not, he doesn't deserve it. He does not deserve the leadership of this great country. I can't entrust Ghana into the hands of Nana Akufo-Addo. I can't sleep. It's not safe. It's not safe. And I believe that. Because I've studied him, I've watched him. Into any details here. But I cannot sleep easy with Akufo-Addo as president of Ghana. I mean, no. I will not sleep easy as a Ghanaian. More promote Nana Akufo-Addo as president of Ghana. I can't, because I cannot entrust the destiny of this country into the hands of Nana Akufo-Addo. That's my opinion. If you want, I will repeat it. I'm repeating it. I cannot entrust the destiny of this country into the hands of Nana Akufo-Addo. No.
As I said, the national constitution provides for just 2 terms. You win 1 term, like you won 2000. You stay in power 4 years. Then you have to go back to the people. The people give you a chance as president. You come in for another 4 years. 2008, you are finished. The state will thank you and say, set aside. That you go off the field and allow another person to come. So the party, along this year, will have to find a successor to use as candidates. But I'm telling you already, because of the good work and good will we have done, we have already about 50% of the vote we need to go back to power. We should put it aside. That's for the next 50. What we have to be careful about is that even as we set for a successor, we must look for somebody who will continue to hold the party together. We mustn't go in for anybody who will divide us, because we by ourselves alone cannot get all the votes we need. All the NPP, 2 NPP people will vote for us, but then I don't think we'll make the 50% plus 1 vote to win advantage. That's why we need to stay together so that it will be attractive to draw other people to join us to go beyond the absolute majority. So anybody who is always full of tension and fighting and that sort of thing, we have to be careful about. The party must stay together. Then, when we see such a person, we must also look and see, when we present this person to the rest of the country, all of them, you must be the type most people will look at and say, this one, when we sleep on him, we will sleep. He's a good person. We'll work with him. Let's start to get the majority. So, among the candidates or aspirants can listen to everybody. Please, it's not the money they will bring around. If they call you, give you 10 million, and you think because of that you will. And when you want to catch a chicken, what do? You give corn. But then that corn might lead to his death. So it's not money. So the candidate therefore, it's not the money. Listen, ask questions. See how the mind works. Look at his nature. See whether the party leaders all together like one family, and then after the party, the nation, the majority of the nation will accept this person for leader. The third thing you must again look for, whether when the power is given to this person to lead us, is the type with the experience, with all due respect and wisdom, to be able to keep the country united, to secure the nation, to gain the respect of the forces, the military, the police, the chiefs. Look out for that. Because we know the history. Some people have been given power only to lose it just like that. We don't want that. But that's when the power comes to us, we must hold it and continue till the last day, and then ask the people to continue to vote for it, the same power. So when you are given this person that is asking, he may be a nice man, you may like him, even perhaps most of the people may like him, but you see the type that can hold the power when it comes to us. That is another question. It's a difficult test, but then governing is difficult. But fortunately for us, now our party has the tradition. We know opposition and we know government. We are mature. Men and women, they are, I believe, wise. And Ghanaians trust us. So we must go the hard way, get a good candidate. I'm having to say this because I too I have interest who was I want a man who will take the power so I can go into retirement, resting, and in dignity. So when I talk like this, some people say, you want to impose. So no, it's not that. I'm entitled to want a good person.
And I'm telling you, with unity, we can break the hate. If we are not united, the way things are going, they just showed me Ghana MPP. We're going to IMF. Trust me. You're sitting here, you are smiling. IMF. What are we going to say again? Somebody tested me. Don't say anything about IMF. Me, I shouldn't say anything about IMF. I will say it. I will say it. You know, going into IMF is just like handing over power to NDC without a contest. Straight away. Because the noise we made, and I threw my own words back when I said NDC went to IMF because of mismanagement of the party, the government, or the economy. So if MPP is going to IMF, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? So breaking the 8 is going to be tough. You cannot use the face of those who who took us to IMF to break the 8. They don't work. My message to you is simple. You cannot read my lips, and I'm not scared of anybody in the party. I will tell you the gospel truth. It's the gospel truth. Those who take you to IMF cannot, their same face cannot break the 8. In Latin, it says, verbum sapienti satis est. A word to the wise is enough. I'm very, very sad today when I saw the publication that we are going to IMF. You know, that is what Mahama was praying for. He's gotten his wish. It will not be easy. It will take hard work. So we should brace ourselves that there's a tax ahead of us, and therefore it's only unity that will let us sail through.
It is true that the international climate has been hostile. But how many countries have had inflation skyrocket to 54%? And in fact, food inflation hitting the roof. And our city only just slightly recovering after a wild tailspin last year. These are stark signals of economic distress, and we cannot hide these facts. We've had to endure a painful debt exchange program with our pensioners laying siege at the finance ministry. Our party, the MPP, can MPP, siege at the finance ministry. Our party, the MPP, can therefore cannot afford to put forward those who led us to this state. I want to repeat myself. Our party, the MPP, therefore, cannot afford to put forward those who led us to this state and expect Ghanaians to embrace them during the 2024 election.
As my deep. I don't know. The Bessia, a Bema me or Hinto, must I call MPP. Some make a doms our party. I don't know yet. I don't know. I say a baback, and Alan a baback, and away baback. Me or Hinto me catch say, Alan Martin, and I've been and I chance or come back to him. Opa, what could be so no one can catch you. Alan is not going back to MPP. Period. They should get it. The Bessia or person some of mine, Ghana for Peninsula, Yami Pessoa of a back. Wama, and so what? And so what? Dear MPP for Ghana say Ghana for two Abama MPP. MPP will never respect Ghanaians again. If in this condition, MPP can win an election, Ghanaians should forget it. I'm telling you my heart. Say baby, I put children here, baby corruption, I could draw. If people of Ghana vote for MPP, I am telling you, MPP people will never respect the people of Ghana again, ever. MPP cannot and should not win this election. By hook or crook, there be. Na Ghana for one team as a year. Say Ghana for two Abama MPP win here. MPP people will never respect Ghanaians again. If in this condition they can win an election, a day be on Aka. I'm telling you.
It's me and train and go Supreme Court to be. There was here a polling station and the collation center was here. And so I don't retract. The next election for NDC is going to be a do or die affair. You must do the right thing at the polling station. And so I'm telling all our party executives, say, you must be at that polling station and make sure the right thing is done. You must be at the collation center and make sure the right thing is done. Don't abdicate your responsibility at that level and expect that after somebody has stolen the election, you go to Supreme Court to see if they will turn the election for you. They won't do it. Maintain sign. It's a do or die affair. It's an English idiom. Obiako be in the dictionary and see what do or die means. It's different from all die be die. All die be die, broken English, pidgin jargon, but we do or die. Could be a dictionary in that way. And I say it's a do or die affair. NDC must man the polling stations. They must man the collation centers. Make sure the pink sheets are correct. Make sure we get the right results and everything. Because if you'll be for a flag bearer, on the records of the Supreme Court. But I me NDC flag bearer, I'm not going to the Supreme Court. We must win at the polling station and on the records of the Supreme Court. But I me NDC of the Supreme Court. But I me NDC flag bearer, I'm not on the records of the Supreme Court. But I me NDC flag bearer, I'm not going to the Supreme Court. We must win at the polling station and the collation center on the records of the Supreme Court. But I me NDC flag bearer, I'm not going to the Supreme Court. We must win at the polling station and the collation center. And Electoral Commission would have no option but to declare who the true winner is.
Thank God chose, like King Ahab has turned his heart from God for material blessings. He has turned his heart from God and has sold the destiny of the nation. So the president of Ghana will be one of the presidents that will walk away from the State House with a lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. A lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. And as long as God lives, unless if he will repent and change some of the steps he has already taken to put the nations into the jaws of the enemy to eat. But if not, starting with him to his descendants, no one will ever rise up from his family into State House or into prominence. Even his party, as he leaves the office, it will take them many decades.
Better test never say if you honor. Quality test never say if you honor. Article 9, Clause 1 now. A cassava for feature of membership. Now, Amudi and Ukraine and the level must one. A member of the party who stands as an independent candidate against the officially elected member of the party, or who joins or declares his or her support for another political party or for an independent candidate when the party has sponsored a candidate in a general or by election, automatically forfeit his or her membership of the party. NPP constitute. The moment NPP, but no support to Alan, no what to NPP. Automatically, no yancho letter be a man over 2 days in your family party. So, a more constitution now, they are running away from their constitution. There are Aquaba. If I draw a position win here, that's right. But my ambition, Ghana, and Yashama, what to say? Right. My young one, Preco. Abambagbin, or the speaker against sitting indefinitely amid vacant seats controversy. That I'm called.
Okay, and that's coming. That's it. I'm chair. You have been chair in production team. In chair for in chairman Ekins. As someone yet discussing what has here, you can watch me. Ghana for the drawn one woman answering in any say. MPP for na sheda omo ye de omo ye.
Oma sheda no mo ye.
Yes.
Okay.
Na metro omo is here.
Ahoto FM 92.3.
The MPP as a political party is behaving like a criminal organization.
Criminal organization.
Yes. Now MPP for su any woman buy. Anyone says for Rika say aponyo mark no ye NDC. insufficiency or call MPP Jimmy or Jimmy. After your marking, he at his age, I'm told that he's 46 years, is behaving like a child who need breast milk. Say a collar open roof for no. After your Marcus, our friend said minority leader pay. Now commerce is no Jimmy. Why? Whether you are a minority leader or majority leader, you are still the leader of government business.
That's right.
And it is a minority crowd. He is still the leader of government business, but he is in the minority.
Ahoto FM 92.3.
Whether you are the majority or minority, you are still the one who will table government motions.
That's right.
Government policies and programs in parliament. Now, why not say MPP for Nim Diomo Yanomini? Cynthia Morrison, Gomoa West, Aguna West, all called Fale as independent candidate. Only say the moment of Fale as independent candidate, she is no more a MPP member. Only who say he doesn't know? Because immediately or Fale die even one year members of parliament here was a platform.
And goodness to whom?
All of them, the 3 MPs, because MPP 4 MPs were platform. The moment Cynthia Morrison got Fale as independent candidate, and he the WhatsApp platform. So because one can MPP for Cynthia Morrison no constituency na kohe. Question ye ka fama me no. Question ye no. MPP for campaign against you. Also campaign against MPP for our constituency for. Kodo Asante Yesuhum MP.
That's right.
Also Fale as independent candidate. Andrew Sesiama also contest on MPP ticket. And a Peter Kwachi Aka also NDC candidate. NDC ni no why MCE in premier.
Wow.
Under Professor Moss no ya MCE. Also DC.
DC.
And under John Mahama was a DC view. Owie wako parliament 8 years. Into onunkwa was several edison 60 years. You see any brenti. Onunkwa ni yefunu. Onunkwa ni yefunu the song. 60 years. Member of Parliament MCE. What again do you want? What again? Kwachi Aka ye NDC MP. Oka ho nipa mi ansa no. Oma Fale as independent candidate. Na me hwe de MPP for ye ya. Obuye te se ro mu nim nyansa, mo mu nim nyansa. Ma me ka se me kire. Ye ka Andrews Esia Manu a oye formina MP no a. No, ye a member of Parliament of the NDC. MPP.
That's right.
And an MPP for come as speaker say Fale as independent candidate. And you unity party. And he said this year already or a member of parliament or a deputy speaker of parliament.
That's right.
And he said MPP for Nimunyansa. The essence come here and say Fale as independent candidate. Then the MPP will refuse to file any parliamentary candidate in the constituency.
Okay.
Whatever. For me, the essence MPP for you. And it's Obama Andrew Sesiama or a deputy speaker, the second speaker of parliament, you know, or a independent candidate. But to be him so MPP ni.
Okay.
And to woman file as independent candidate on his own. Then the MPP will not file any candidate in the constituency to contest him.
Okay.
And the MPP will rally their support behind him. When he wins, he comes to parliament as independent candidate, but he works with the MPP the same.
As he's doing.
The same thing he's doing. Nyansa we are MPP for him. Nyansa we are MPP for him. And I'm going to find if you want or independent candidate. I'm not contesting one seat. So. And I'm find as an unopposed candidate of the MPP. Emrachin. Now listen. Time one MPP for who says I never me answer way Fale as independent candidate. They know. Say per the MPP constitution that we read know. They are no more members of the MPP.
That's right.
And to be someone say I didn't see a woman saki wom. The MPP knew. Say a saki wom one. You be a minority in parliament. Into yenye din. Into Obia or your MPP ni. Na mrano chile se. O Fale na so contest as independent candidate. You are no more MPP member.
That's right.
You want MPP platform so WhatsApp platforms you. But still, because they need the numbers in parliament, they decided to still let them be in parliament.
Wow. Ahoto FM 92.3.
And the speaker call. Aye, na dwene se sete saa dia. Me de mmara be ye adwuma. And I beg for Becca Numpolo. Yawa, and then MPP first take us. See, Kwesi Poku ye Tema West chairman of the MPP.
Okay.
Also, the chairman of the New Patriotic Party in Tema West has criticized the party decision to dismiss Hobson Adoye, calling it one of the party's most significant missteps in an interview on the Angel FM morning show. What? Also, the MPP people started because Hobson Adoye, the same members of parliament.
That's right.
And so they have realized that yeah, MPs in the mama crying. No fighting my woman. That didn't because Saki Hobson is say. When you look at the contribution of Hobson Adoye in the MPP, they made a mistake of sacking the person. They did not write a letter to Hobson. Say what can the moment Hobson Ekodi Alan Tremanti Chino, one constitution say you are campaigning for a non-MPP candidate. You are no more an MPP.
It's automatically.
What for 50?
Ahoto FM 92.3.
Now, MPP for you will say, one more MPs in it by a pay their constitution. Or my hesitate. First, I'm starting my excuse. Oh, dear Aaron Michael Quay, yeah, in 2020, a mistake.
And you benefited from that mistake.
They enjoyed it and celebrated it. They enjoyed the dismissal of Formina MP and Duse Siama and jubilated over it. Now, you see, when it suits them, they use it. When it doesn't suit them, they find a way of doing it. Until all of a sudden, say, you create impression, say, Michael Quay, a mistake. And until back when you're not a mistake, I did mistake. They know the MPs, the 2 MPs or the 3 MPs, they have forfeited their membership. They are no more members of MPP, and therefore they must be removed from the parliament. Now,
it's a deliberate.
Now, we share MPP letter number call. I must say, affidavit videos, S party motion number call parliament. See the MPP kind.
I'm going to call court.
MPP say, when the NDC assumes the leadership of parliament, they will use their position to probe MPP.
They will use their position
to probe and to make the country ungovernable for the MPP. And this is what the Speaker, the Supreme Court agreed. One constitution says, once you are less number of people in parliament, we are minority. MPP motion, I'm going to call parliament in this claim say, I'm going to call court to which I say, the MPP will use their position, the NDC will use their position to make the country ungovernable for the MPP. They will use the position to probe
MPP.
Bonebe na waya NDC will use their majority to probe. Now, and one and the chairman supposed to your friend radio stations. Chairman supposed to buy I said the decision to remove the e-levy by the minority would have been infantile. Yes. Chairman supposed to know. I say NDC for your press conference, can say majority now, majority say one be majority ni we are. One be ye levy ne betting tax in our taxes levy. Chairman supposed to say it would have been infantile and just fine and reasonable.
That's right.
I didn't hear. See, I agree. Or say, Chairman Sabos is about 62 years. I can't tell him say age does not mean that the person is intelligent enough. I said, okay, or say, the fact is, say, NDC for you live in the field doesn't mean. Say, on the majority, they can remove it. Not here. The NDC minority would have used the bill, remove the e-levy, and send the bill to Nana Akufo-Addo to sign. If Nana Akufo-Addo refuses to sign 3 days or 4 days for an election, he would know. What about you, Bobo? He doesn't understand politics. The NDC would have removed the betting tax. He removed the e-levy. By law, Ade, you violate LGBT law and can't come on Akufo-Addo. Ma so on sign.
That's better.
So on sign. Obiati say Papa dey tumu nipa. He's an advocate for tumu. And that is the reason why he refuses to sign. Because that is the implication of it. If you are refusing to sign LGBTQ bill, it means you support it.
Silence means
Consent. And that is how sad the whole situation has become. Now, young Koyanim, many of them are speaker ruling. Speaker ruling or the buy. Bonnie be any move. Okotu Emrai or parliament.
that's right.
And Odi Nipa 9. Emre be any. NDC MP ne feno kwachi ne di kaba on 31st. Ebe kan say no krenie. Onim say the moment of filing as independent candidate no Emra no yede eche no into oni problem bia. I'm say Kojo Asante so ababonti ono so MPP no so ababonti abeka almost the same thing. Now speaker ruling. The MPP now realize that the NDC is becoming majority. Decide they say let's frustrate this process. And the mark in the Concord Parliament place injunction on Parliament not to discuss
The issue.
the removal of the 4 people.
Or the Concord, the Supreme Court.
Yes. To remove, say, or the Concord Supreme Court
2.3.
say nipa and 9 no ayebe you more parliament. There will be debate first. Remember debate in a massacre. Now Supreme Court obi bibi besi ade no nyansi obi to be the injunction by parliament.
But I say on the injunction call on the Supreme Court. And the answer Ukasa into
Supreme Court.
That's right.
I have a moment. More say, Charlie, the MPP is a political. It's not. I never want. Mammy catch it. Are you able to say politics is a game? It is the survival of the fittest. Into all your bonny crowd, you said you're all getting it. And so, so politics in tea. Let's do it. Now, speaker ruling. Nipa bebre akasa wo se boni bienu. But the MPP makachira wo se MPP no need di agro a. O se fakọ court. Esan se ni nua panyini ye court judge.
That's right.
Ne maame ye judge. And I say ne party ni ba ye judge. Oh court. Into medical kachira say o pa fakọ court. When the MPP ni bia ye bibia di agro bia obeka chọ se fakọ court. Because
you are parking court.
Why you are parking court? You know, say MPP for former chairman of the MPP, and then now Akufo-Addo appoint to them as Supreme Court judges and High Court judges. Now, MPP for say still on person majority. Essence woman very identity. And see, woman quite say minority, majority. The former minority now has taken over. They started to attack Joy FM.
That's right.
Say Joy FM for Efre or no Aponoma Kenesa or a minority leader. Now, when the speaker rules, it works. It applies. And it is a speaker Casa of Parliament say, more majority is a number extra. It's a minority. Now say from minority leader, that's a Wusua. Yeah. And then in Nanso Sandra. Canada Japan. Aponoma Kenesa. And some notable members of parliament, Ako Cynthia Morrison. Ako boom kotoge panichel so mo panichel or redraw nombrambe ka wo mo who parliament. Why are they doing that? I didn't tell me yes sir. Woman them says oba be ka wo mo who the numbers will balance.
Exactly.
Into almost started Kojo Asante. Any Emma Morrison, Cynthia Morrison, no say one more body back. And the X-ray will say, all of a sudden, the MPP knows that they've made a mistake. The mistake they made, one, was to have allowed a CMA to contest as on their candidates.
92.3.
When the constitution is explicit. Now, one, they see a MPP for the NDC for say, oh, I didn't see a speaker a suspending parliament. I think, say, under the circumstances, it's the best. Because some of the implications, we cannot. Yet to me, own tears, papa. Edikan. MPP was 6 bills on the table a obo person we ho adwuma bills nsia sa bills ya make one say bi ebi ni say one person mo ton VR.
That's right.
But the document in the next week, they want to sell or privatize VRA. VRA will go under B. VRA may have bigger institutions, and never call under B.
Not we never the mother.
Not be never by a mother because they are selling it to some people to manage it, and it is all a japadier. The MPP want to capture very notable state institutions. Or yes, but ECG man penny. It is a so called VRA. Now NDC ba power. Why not you say 4 months, 5 months? Men so light in the mamo. To make John Mahama unpopular. So you see, they want to buy VRA. They want to grant $350 million tax waiver to some people they allege say are doing one district, one factory.
Which their own friends.
They are all campaign team. They want to use the money for campaign. $350 million. $350 million. A country that goes to IMF to borrow $3 million. We are giving $350 million for free. As taxes for people for free. If the MPP is not a criminal organization, tell me what it is. The MPP is a criminal enterprise. Now, me demanu besi form. Supreme Court na woman who yem who kakra.
Mame.
Anya tokonumpo Supreme Court. The entire composition of the Supreme Court is embarrassing this country. The same Supreme Court, a court now who say birth certificate that ya woman on my na on my nankachama certificates ya Ghana, we a Ghana neighbor. Sa certificate meaning me di 80 years sa nkrata na birth certificate no mean to me fan register to aba mean to be using as identification. Hey.
Ahoto FM
Supreme Court
2.3.
Ya wo me wa Ghana. Ghana ma me birth certificate say eda ya wo me 13 January 2000. Many wa Ghana ma ba be 80 years. Me kwa control me di ato aba. Me koya na me the birth certificate say ya wo me Ghana ha me ka me nkata aban ya Ghana de ma me ni.
FM 92.
Supreme Court say you cannot use that document to register. But we want to use passport. Passport in the energy.
A birth certificate.
But we want to use your driving license. Or driving license in the energy.
Birth certificate.
But you cannot use the birth certificate. He said it is a way to suppress voters, to suppress votes, to prevent more people from registering to vote their MPP out. If the MPP is not a criminal organization, what it is. Now you see, some members of the Supreme Court are whining and dining with the MPP.
But they are MPP people.
They are MPP people, former chairman of the MPP, former constituency executives, executive members of the MPP appointed to the Supreme Court. And they feel, say, somebody like Yole Kolinde. It's a Supreme Court, member of the Supreme Court. Somebody who has worked with Akufo-Addo's boy, has trained him for about 28 years. Yole Kolinde is now a Supreme Court judge.
And
if there is a case between NDC and the MPP, you can know where Yole Kolinde will put the matter. Or no, to me, Fred Jakpa. Or no, and Attorney General de Jakpa didn't call the fee. Say, on country Jakpa say Uncle Chantro. A Supreme Court judge. Now, Tokonu, and name your one starting say, Obu Ghana judiciary, Dimasi. And a Tokonu Ababe Soso. And the only yin Guasia, woman good Supreme Court. Now, the former Chief Justice of this country, appointed by Nana Akufo-Addo, he worked with Nana Akufo-Addo for 4 years. Gloria Akufo. Ababo, is it Gloria Akufo or Sophia Akufo? Sophia Akufo Ababo, said the Supreme Court has become predictable. That when anybody goes to court, you look at who is taking the matter to court and you can predict the outcome of the matter. Atukuba is one of the Supreme Court judges in 2012 election petition.
That's right.
Has come out to say
2.3.
The Supreme Court had no business to interfere in the parliamentary matter. And even it's not even the Supreme Court, it should have been High Court.
Exactly.
And then the Supreme Court now by a ball. football court, and as a basketball court, and as a volleyball court.
Aya party office.
Tokonu and Enimi Yabua have succeeded in making the Supreme Court a political arm of the NPP.
92.3.
And me, I am pleading that they are tarnishing the image of the Supreme Court too much. It is too much. It's becoming too much. They are tarnishing the image of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has become a... Now, let me tell you something. One thing I'm concluding. Say, JHS for exams. Now, woman, you know, throw a decree again this year.
Woman, you know, throw a decree.
Yes. You tell them people.
They
said they copy. Your Supreme Court judges are 64, 65, 66, 70, 58, 54. Woman, you know, Julia Bako.
And then Tafo Kurampo Omudrisa.
JHS for control exams, and that's SSS for control exams. That's a woman you now copy a throw idea about quoi. Yes, they are copy. You cancel it. But Supreme Court judges in this country have become a unanimous FC. Who they are some court, all of them as mature and as old as they are, 55, 70 years, 72 years. They are all thinking the same and deciding the same on matters of the Supreme Court. And you copy.
I say, DELA EDEM, the heavyweight champion at Seneca. Me come over, says here.
Minia, afei ma menka me wura mu mu aso ahunu a menyae wɔ Safari Valley Eco Park in Trail. Emra ye duro pɛ akwantifo akwankyerefo a wɔn ho akokwa agye yɛn de yɛn fa kwan a yɛ befa
sa yi
bebe na benye bi Ghana.
Judiciary no. Aye doctors of Refusal or your political animal. The animal is in court. It is a juma wa ha. I was saying yes ya boa. Some of us ebia because of Refusal and yes. So me call lobby penny bi. So my first consignment in the penny no eboa amateur mama
for Parliament. Alaska, I feel so about to I can say Article 179 of the 1992 Constitution, yes, Section 21 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016. I say, and mandated the executive to present the nation's budget to Parliament for approval. And to among penny not to say, so for a yes, for the Parliament, only to make the bearing. And I'm looking last month, Joanna, labor unions, organized labor unions, a call strike. I see. On Baby demonstration at the illegal mining are here to our forest. No, I'm the LI legislative instrument. I go to Parliament, and I'm not gonna say as a Parliament engagement, no to become hostile, but away. And I'm not gonna say you want $250 million US and a Ghana Financial Stability Fund. As a team bobo, negative, and also when it's Alaska, sir, a day by and the most is be Brian Abba. But what I'm telling you, sir, with that Parliament or my penny in hall with Riding, I be here. And it's here now. Say, every before free say, I'm more born my Ghana, bro. And you're my bro, no more. But near the end this new of my Ghana, you're soon to say, Sabbatin task and it's 40 tasks and it's 11. So, first, a young majority in Parliament, you pay every home. That LGBTQ to so first, a majority, you pay every home. As I say, MP before the Parliament, you are debut order on my yay. But let's get hands great. Ghana, your man, 1992 Constitution, Article 97. I just say, so what do I'm on the Quabimu and the two of my own persuasion and the corner Shebe Joma. So I'm my Shebe Jom. Now you want to say, oh, 2 1 from the corner, a domer agent of 2 of my own. I say you to us, I say you because sitting as vacant.
Exactly.
And moreover, so my Shebe Jom. Now said, quantum independent. Now, if you do an open so called joining among the cover for Nesso Toba, essentially, you to Sokuda. MPP, MPP a term, former Speaker of Parliament, Michael Quay Ayab, nay, the Pabako, Mujitum, but Anna, Adani Abam Swa, Ade and Samontiasi. But no more who say, and then yay, no more higher, no more one casa on my bay, on my pin another duck of Buffalo. And then your bills are Parliament as a passing. Your policies of Parliament as you're implementing, but why are those people going to do that? And Ghana is in a state of banana republic, and then is in a state of lawlessness country, and Ghana ain't even every. But what I'm telling the judicial say, they are not above parliamentary proceedings.
They only interpret. They don't inject. They don't send interrogatory injunction to anything. And they can't stop the speaker from proceeding to his parliamentary procedures. And not being one man, but the MPP, and then another go for neighbor nearby. Omutan crana, and yet then crana, and this year majority. Now, yes, I have you. I say, I start from the legislative duties. I have parliament. Ghana 1992 Constitution grants Parliament control over all public funds. And to be seen on my no, a bonny na for Parliament in 7.3. Sika on my penny, to make your mind Ghana, na for Parliament in some. And see, and now, so Parliament acquire exhausted say ya. Now you say, on my penny not so, I don't know. This is more likely to political instability. And do say Siama and contest on MPP tickets. And a Peter Kwachi Aka, also NDC candidate. NDC Nino why MCE in Premier. Wow. Under Professor Masno MCE. Also DC. And under John Mahama was DC view. Oh, we were Parliament 8 years. In Tonunqua was several edism 60 years. You see, a nibre, any printy. Onunqua ni yefru, onunqua yefu the soon. 60 years. Member of Parliament MCE. What again do you want? What again? Kwachi Aka NDC MP. Okahu, nipa mi ansano. Oma file as independent candidate. Na, me share the MPP for ye ya. Obu ya tisero mu ni mnyansa, momu ni mnyansa. Mami kasa menjero. Ye ka Andrews Esia Manua, oye formina MP noa. No, ye a member of Parliament of the NDC. MPP. That's right. And an MPP for come as speaker, so file as independent candidate. And you unify party. And he said this year already or a member of Parliament or a deputy speaker of Parliament. That's right. And he said MPP for Nimunyansa. The essence come here and say, "I'm file as independent candidate." Then the MPP will refuse to file any parliamentary candidate in the constituency. Okay. However, for me, the essence MPP for you. And it's Obama Andrew says, or your deputy speaker, the second speaker of Parliament, you know, or your independent candidate. But to be him so your MPP. Okay. And to woman file as independent candidate on his own. Then the MPP will not file any candidate in the constituency to contest him. Okay. And the MPP will rally their support behind him. When he wins, he comes to Parliament as independent candidate, but he works with the MPP. As he's doing. The same thing he's doing. Nansa we are MPP for him. Nansa we are MPP for him. And I'm going to find if you want or independent candidate. I'm going to contest who want seat. So, you know, find as an unopposed candidate of the MPP. Emrachen. Now listen. Time one MPP for who says I never mean way afale as independent candidate. They know. Say per the MPP constitution now we read know. They are no more members of the MPP. That's right. It will be someone say and they empty na one saki wom. The MPP need. Say yes saki wom. You be a minority in Parliament.
My leader and find out from him. I spoke to him and he also said he didn't know where the rumor was coming from. So let's just forget about it. FM,
right. And the Cynthia Mamre Morrison. Now with him, as I went near break here. Dr. Mamudu Baumia PM our voter region. Now I'm a voter region at Tono and I all catch them say good news Abba. Now good news in the say Cynthia Mamre Morrison. Any Ayakodwa Sante, now because on his phone, Cynthia Mamre Morrison, Abba back. Dr. Mamudu Baumia. Yes.
Don't try that.
Oh, say.
I don't agree with what you say.
So down on me platform way so and I make her say. Anya mwa sa na no di intro the first. Asem na waka no Cynthia Mamre Morrison baba baka say nya no kre. Edu anumre na me so benya course ba Alaska ukayo yentie waka ye wenam sa dan Cynthia Mamre Morrison akawo asempa say Oni moshi. Na eyesa wo mu kwa we na oni Kennedy no mu twa picture. And the picture no mu twa ya no. Ana ba me make announcement say waba.
O man for 19 epufu.
Ana the consul say, "Yeah, what disika?" And I say, "Yeah, me ko ya be ye." Kwado something so say, "Emra omu so ko file pe enya eya another paying fee. And WhatsApp platform.
Well, you know, so your member of parliament of the NPDB.
I see now say ya who say asema ba pa send the account.
And I almost remember FM 92.3.
Bella for we mami na fe me ko ekiso. National chairman said the only way and this is by regaining political power and through by ballot.
Asema Alaska me topic me be say kin say e kire sen.
Okay dia kwa kwesi say says you on minus says you woman and you about 1 year back to the MPP so. And the MPP and this for no coin their numbers no mun to aba. And the young for two young for giant young for sikai. But we will regain political power through the ballot box. Young ko to aba.
Alaska
92.3.
Asem when the Canadian kakra. I said we feel so good so kakra. And ukrese be to aba. And ukrese obi a wote Ghana and the uto Indomie 25 cedis without chicken. Indomie 20 cedis 25 cedis without chicken.
Indomie do 25 cedis.
What are you talking? Because you're commercial. You're going to say, "Only go krum to Jamida, and you would have been able to pay for some other. Not pay for that. We're not pay for that. That's also obeying Indomie and Ajua. Who not pay for that?
92.3. Hey,
that's guy Kukumasi. Now, Bobby, it. Let me feel it's a comedy. So, we can pay Indomie there. Ashama many be 15 cities into young column compare Indomie into make it 20. The choir buyers so mean whom in you. Or say Indomino, a fee 25 you call. And I'm saying Obama me chicken. Or say baby. Indomie dry. Indomie. I watch you go Siaba Kotuano 25 cities. And I'm saying, Mammy 20 now, Diasa. I mean, this are 20. What's it, Daddy? Kumasi. And I'm saying now when I am to about Jimmy say about Fuse. Yeah, now what told me 25 cities for Kumasi. I said, what for 30 cry tiwa. I'm saying, I'm going to see. And I'm to about. Am I buying no about saying, in the first year, 24 city 2016. I shall have turned in the 15 cities. The complaining. We call Kumasi in the 25 without checking. And the better checking. Better who got a monument. Alaska, you better to Abam. I said a general mosquito can you better to Abam. You better say NDC for the Ghana for you now. I see a winner Banua. I said, don't do the 12 mine.
That's right.
One more many MPP supporters, but there were sympathizers who bought into the lies of the MPP. Who bought into one district, one factory, one university. And the MPP catch us one district, one factory, without analyzing the nature of the MPP. You went and voted for the MPP. You have been deceived. It is 8 years down the line. The MPP has not built a single factory. Obatema has a committee 9. Ever Pure Company Limited, almost in 1989, by 7 brothers. And on this time, but we see one district, one factory. Ever Pure. Budget cash and carry 2012. And on the budget blue jeans. Right. Blue jeans energy drink 2012. Now MPP the signboard I could see budget cash and carry. Say one district, one factory. I want to say there is something sinister going on. And to be started, say me let me call some pay for my bisa. Said yeah no. Darko Farms 1987. Now the signboard I could see Darko Farms 92.1 one district, one factory. And see, one more call school, every school, one more pay few more pay Juma, yes, I now unemployment rate 8.3%. And the unemployment rate is 16.4. It is a Nana one district, one factory, and unemployment from 8.4 would have reduced. Tobacco from FM 92. And he said, yes, we are not going to fight. But no, Chesa Bano Yakotoro. Say kita Bible ready to police station no be the two bar. Me am was a general mosquito can say. Because say you got 12 no, yeah, the Bible will call. That's say MPP 5 for Bible in Shia. No, Chisikai, but Chisikai.
Hey,
yes, I'm okay.
92.
Yeah, the Bible, the police, the peace, and the police. They can't control baby, but will be if you. And to say MPP new Kafasika this year, I will defend myself. But they wow. Offer Sophia, Befa Sophia. Offer Picasa, Befa Picas. Ordinance Paba, but the Missapa never. Main drama on Kubin 20. And you want to vote, yes. You want everybody to vote. Well, for some way, a gun and that's what your man. Nasa the echoes would have the MPP want to be slow baby. You'll be a psychiatric home.
Psychiatric
home, and that's a hospital. You need to go there to re-examine yourself. Something is wrong with you.
Obi sending me a message about a week ago. I say, you're too ababa umiabenyano. I bet you normal psychiatric hospitals are gone here. Do you side with the person?
Say you're too ababa, yes. You're too ababa anyway. Now, by umianya vote to be say 46%, 47%. I bet you say Sebi. Kind of for you name Jansen. Because Papa Shall was say 1 district, 1 million constituency per constituency.
That's right.
I think every district being $8 million. That is 16.4 billion times 6. And you can imagine the development in all this. Go to Asham and go and see our road. Go to Tem and go and see our. Go to Madina and go and see our roads. And Kuala 1.2 million don't have chairs to sit on in the classrooms because the district assembly common fund and no percentage edema MCE this MP na MP jaton kunya at the school for the past 2 years 4 months the district common fund now binding to win chia. This is statutory requirement. Abiding to win chia says you can't find coin.
She can't show what the direct from source, you know.
Sika ye chia taxa abayin ti no fa this assembly to me and ti Alaska so we share the ekoso no a o ka kire so one district one fight won to me afamba o ka kire so one village one dam won to me afamba o ka say he's moving Ghana from taxation to production. What is the production? Baumia, the man who was in charge of the economy, has run away. Wakakoto Padlock, Akatana know about economy. He does not talk about economic matters. He's now talking about digitalization, interoperability of the interoperability. No, okay. And then transfer of money. Momo did 12 years and 15.
And you're 15 years.
Momo, you're 15 years. Baumia is telling us so. I don't know Momo to buy. Cremoni or you preco. Cremoni or no G. According to Canada, Japan. Whiskey. Now whiskey the gin difference, but Cremonia, Babunia, Cremonia, or you preco. Over Cremoni, or you preco to a champ drones. So, hey, Muslims don't lie. Babaumia lies. In California, Chantro, Babaumia Chantro. I'm going to need a tino or more chrono. Let me catch you up. I'm going to need more chrono. We don't steal. We don't. In our tradition. I said, me don't know. Me come do the.
Can be
I don't know.
I don't know
why. I come do the.
92.3.
Yayam Kwalani yet TA said there is no pride in stealing. Never steal. Don't take anything that belongs to anybody. We don't. And we have the perception that when you steal, you can be killed.
That's right.
So, always when we grow, wherever we are, it is in our mind. So when we steal, you can be killed. Until we don't. We are afraid. In the voter regime, over, we see a bit more at Tia to Jose. Over Kwabanedao. Opa for Sika Puyo 10,000, 20,000. Nafam to one white beach, one people, Nafa to unclear Obefa. Fatu voter regime. Obiabepa, Obianfa.
But about the MPP, but we have campaign platform, we can pick you before.
For one thing. Then there's someone phone. Baumiani campaign state, campaign platform. You hear the phone.
I also am penny phone once in a good.
Now, I want to baby, I know what you say a VIP sitting place. Not dynamo as I'm watching. Nana Baumian chain. No, you hear the phone. They catch they throw me. Auntie Alaska. And maybe I've seen Konaba Samia Ukuka and this is MPP supporters. Say Obian copy from Obafunu and Family Chain.
That's right.
I say you don't need to license Wamafunu. Obian copy. Who here license? From Obafunu 2012 election. Obian copy Wamafunu. And then I was going to say the only way of winning the election is through the ballot box.
To regain a political power and the same thing.
Yes, yeah, you're cool. The cool, yeah, you're cool. But he must be speaking to inspire the NDC foot soldiers and base than this particular statement. Because the MPP is desperate and they want to do everything to stay in power. So when you win election and they don't want to hand over power, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Asking for me. What are we supposed to do?
Right. Tiawe famame. Tiawe.
And these days, when we talk about resisting attempts to rig elections, so we have to go to court. Look, me, I'm not waiting to go to court. I'm not waiting to go to court. You know why? The Constitution gives me the right to defend myself and gives that right to every other Ghanaian to defend himself in the face of attack. So when I speak about the right, exercising your right to defend yourself, I'm talking about upholding the very Constitution of Ghana. The Constitution that the President swore an oath to defend. The Constitution that the Vice President swore an oath to defend. The Constitution that we are all enjoined to defend says that we have a right to self-defense. If I go to a polling station on December 7th to cast my vote, just to cast my vote to show my preference for political parties and leaders, and somebody is rushing towards me with a knife or is pointing a gun at me, I am not going to wait to die so that the person will be taken to court. I will take measures to live. So people must be clear in their minds. Nobody is going to allow anybody to rig this election. Nobody is going to allow anybody to play around with our sentiments and so on in order that they may stay in power. The votes of the people of Ghana must count in this election. This election, the result must reflect the sovereign will of the people of this country. This election must show that we are maturing. And that one of the reasons why we fought for our independence so that the people of Ghana can choose their own leaders. That must be meaningful. And it will be meaningful in this election. Nobody will be allowed to rig the elections. Anybody who tries to rig this election will do so at their own peril. It will be an enormous risk. Look, no force on earth can defeat an organized and determined people. No force, no military, no armed forces in the world has been able to defeat an organized and determined people. The United States of America was defeated in Vietnam. The United States of America was defeated in Vietnam. It was defeated in Korea. It has suffered many defeats around the world, in spite of the fact that it possesses a nuclear weapon. You understand? And those who don't know history, or those who think that they can play with history and so on, they have an uphill task. Let nobody even dream of manipulating things so that they can stay in power or win elections in Ghana. We will not allow that to happen.
FM 92.3. Mami can for me 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, campaign 2020 to elect party executives. And Crawford Baby, they normally be your campaign, and you can't say move for your campaign.
Okay.
Already send baby for example for what kind. I can send baby for example for say yeah to us our yawaso no your suffer. Na Brana Champa ko for woman mukita two. So woman from Kuya party agent need delegates. And a chairman who say say by election back up so boku nipa dia. Mun pull it out. 2.3. Almost say it is a sign of cowardice. And no, ye campaign tia no me to tia. Eto abeto the yidifio. And ye chairman of our party said the only way of changing the government
It's through the ballot.
is through the ballot box.
Exactly. And he's right.
It's through the ballot box. And Ayawasu, a true no through the ballot box. That's okay. So Ayawasu, a true no go for tree, no, over the sea, yes or no? Are you through the ballot box?
And so it means that you better call the ballot box, but we are watching, sir. Oh, Baniki, I was saying, yes, so you're defending him.
That is what we should be telling the people. And that is not what we are asking. They say, Yaka.
May I say, Tiawe for mammy, Tiawe, not fake, but Tia speaker, catching another.
That is inciting people to violence. That even if we lost the election, we will not hand over. We'll do all we can to hold on to power. That is unacceptable. I was really shocked to hear that because His Excellency the President knows that the power he's holding is not his. It's for the people, particularly the voters. And the people voted and gave him that power. Once they vote you out, he even is ending his 8 years period. At the 6th of January 2025, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has no such power. He knows. Really? He has no such power, so it's just an empty boast.
92.3. It's just an empty boast. Remember, try your call.
Alaska, Niamekan say, as a chairman general, I said in Kitty a kind. Me the mentia say no, and I'm a rich. Was it through the ballot box?
Exactly.
Thank you. Minu Alaska. The Bianca say MPP for 7 years. Ye, just a omon and quetchy. Na Bomiani ya all ye in no, a quest of bow on chow waliasi. Utubacha unia. Na me, eki some tea Alaska. Or Chema and this year. Our first Achikwana, Nakam Num Brave near to Benne, Achikwana, I know what a moonsu. Sir, MPP, a DMPP, a hospital, and Kamara Kamenko, and Kamin.
MPP and your hospital
and Kamara Kamenko. Ah, Sir MPP, a banker, and Kamenko, a common inquiry. And I say MPP, a DMPP, a quiet car fast when the Panama, and Kamin Chaka Mudakusidani. Alaska.
Does it mean that you don't like anything about them?
7 years said in answer, Nenny Pedri at Solon of Padrin, and answer Ebinum team. Why? Election time and not election time, Alaska. Election time and Namabu Akosu.
A serious
beans bag. What was the last month? Now 1,818 million, and now up with some Tommy's beans bag, and I'm 33 million, 3,300. Ah, Jesus Christ. About into the answer. Beans bago 8,880 million, and I'm 10,300, 33 million.
No.
I mean, I'm touched though. 3,300. I did last one 8,008.
Last month.
Yes.
I don't owe your business at all.
I'll ask me what you feel to be teacher.
Okay.
Because two watch them, my man, one was bra. And the part 2, Naka away actually.
I don't go to watch 8 series. I don't want to watch 5 series. Now, as well, okay. And this, everybody didn't see him. Alaska, on the Kufado, this, anybody didn't see him. On my being free. And this, hey, this, a commodity for the people. Beans,
including Kokonte.
Yes. And the beans, anybody didn't sing. And
Alaska, through Kofili Station, you have to gas. Kofili Station, you have to petrol. Kofili Station, you have to the same. Alaska, and then you go to about. Menoka say, send it to dollar exchange rate. Ko Bloomberg, and I'm not say dollar and almost about 17 Ghana cedis to a cedi.
I did a young service and dealt to crowd with the dollar.
Oh, but I'm also a chicken them IGP Kinway. Alaska, and I'm not say Sabawe and Munyansa common sense analysis. BC for resource.
Are you serious? Yeah, to me, marking up baby as pending.
Your subject be for creative art and design. The whole Ghana, you know, be a man. You see, I'm creative art and design. The whole, you see, I'm buying a Nyansa. How would you ask students to go and write an exam when you have no markers, examiners? And you want a certain question? I'm very say.
I'm a very quiet baby.
The whole Ghana BEC exams, creative art and design, no teachers to mark.
And the network.
And the Colossian is 3 years.
Upon way
chimney dodo.
You see, Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, they need psychiatric attention. They are suffering from what is called an acute psychosis. Omunim nyansa.
Dabi, omunim nyansa.
Sebi. Alaska. Is that
omunim nyansa ni de
omunim nyansa I depend on online and the network and I make my exams.
Right.
And now when I Columbia School takes up, which is Wednesday. Look at school my prospectus my. Next week Wednesday do I call it to Ambaga, rock check classroom or semi the go for Bamia. Nonsense.
Now Colonel war from one. Amuko school 5 weeks. And we are promoted from 2.
What? Amuko school 5
weeks.
And they are promoted.
Yes. They have been promoted. Straight from
it's very serious.
And then Napose, the free SHS they did not promise quality.
But no.
But you're correct. But to me,
and I want to say,
the president.
Since I got first no more bed, since I don't
I said, don't come out so manena. Don't come manena. Don't come out in South Order, don't come out in South one assume. Or the South one.
I do auto fist a buy and Minister Napo. I want fast here. So I'm not going to come here. I was because I'm here. Alaska. I come here. And Alaska go work on off. Chip company NDCC, your friend be Obodasi. Last week with the video now. Yeah, I will ever film. Video no Alaska last be sending now.
But I man know one. Now the whole
Obodasi Tafu
and Electoral exams BC almost for 3 years. The whole Ghana woman young markets. Emma one resource in the bar release a home year pending. And
it's very serious. Being collateral BEC. You see, I prepare for the exams. I control exams. No, they did not get examiners to mark their papers. Why were the children learning the subject in school?
Maybe interrogation examinations. I got to see next week. Same class school, Mamu.
Injunction. But I say, Nana do Ankasa Ninia, your friend on 50 for Yata, or say, abandoning your papa, moving to almost so. Facebook. The
economy is so bad. People are never experienced. I don't want certificate economy. Look at the mess. And then he said, after the digitalization, we digital. The met into the young. Yeah, but I can say all the economy is a good say may selfish. So it's a media only economic whiskey, blah blah blah. Now whiskey. Ecosystem. For example, chairman of the economic management team. It's why is using the make. Well, with the digitalization, you know, by your way, and the large credit to go. And then you have digitalization. Well, will be only certificates. We are all certificates I can buy. We're fairly portal. The only certificate. Digitalization will meet the executive secretary, Augustine Blake. All of IT, the power of Brahman. And I have a master's in business technologies from Merriman University in America. And there's a course we are the systems thinking. So they are systems thinking. For example, IT they just go get up and say, by your way, you have to have it
right. And you got the first and another one can send me and can support. Or somebody your papa, Momu Hamo 0303 402 16 and 0303 402 904 0541 82 5106. Good evening. Yes, sir.
Collins, the Mamichia, the heavyweight champion.
And you see, Uncle Kumasu Muffin, no waba.
I had a pa. On the title, no, see, next year, the Kupoya don't end this year, Papa, DELA EDEM. We cited the crown, you're better than more times 3. They can't down. We are fantastic. Lydia, Matisse MP, Senesi, almost Fred Bagwema. Bagway to Payo. When I let it, when you catch almost a Bagway to Payo. Also, about next month. Because, yes, your memoir, Shamuka Sakasamudo, Shamu said a butcher, one was a mocker. Then your man same, I could find on your brown and the Lumia Kamai Ghana. 7 December, and you're still Ghana versus MP.
But I'll say, as I see, I know not die MP, the firm consul or court, Jinjanshi Kotu, Freno Mufra. Sir, what you win, Janshi, the over you win, so dear. Good evening.
Good evening, Alaska Badon.
Udini baby Aukasefi.
Baba Kateno, second you talk ready.
Baba Tawianko.
You agree the yellow corridor. Didn't work in a water cannon. I didn't work with me. And if what you are there, we should pay a few hours. And two and found Bob the Pepper, we should get a wake. I'm a brand at Bobo. You don't question none of what they are cutting on the summer to able to addition walk of position. I put for that I read that a man of watch and many way. But we are only crowd the yellow before they can walk a day. Then of one to about for man. It's a joke, no one never will joke. It's a gun for one phone serious. Because the 7th December, don't go about mamma on the yellow to a bed down and one bed then. Of course, you know, when in our question, we get to me up with, we'll be in anything, more telling out our many more. Women, put your money, crock, like I'm chanting what. What's that man, what Ghana, or the number of Ghana?
Men I say, away the question if you talk on Alaska, I am in one was say. I bedim bia awase kire oni nyentia afenyo emfa ne dino ase kire emfa nya adwuma. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Gabi went to me engine so mama call ahara me for no so. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir, good evening.
Good evening. Alaska the Don.
Yes, I would need baby o ka sefi.
Me de pompido mi kata fi nse kan.
About your yanko.
MPP ana baumia angazano skuna okwenu pepa na muto mara na osia den na.
No, so what be so asemo?
Answer always they make noise. There's an English word that empty barrels always make the most noise.
And who you soldier ni ana?
No, I'm not a soldier.
Okay.
I'm not a soldier.
But I say, good evening.
Good evening, Alaska.
We didn't even be a Kasofi.
Alaska, Kasua.
Chairman Yanko.
Alaska, my min chairman, your penny, DELA EDEM. And I make a person, the man Mahama. Me chairman, or my chairman, I'm a person, I'm a family chairman. Alaska, you don't recata about Domia. Nearly up to 100%. Alaska, my brother, DELA EDEM. Take them for your chanto, your mocro. You praku. The one in the very study way, and when you tell me, and our castle, or that local because of me, Kamani. Let me work Kamania. What we praku. It's an entire million moon come for say. One life. Oh, but you know, not a wood won't stop. It's not of me. Me to me at the wood, I wouldn't have me ever attend because I found out who to you. Sabi, but me a queen market. What's the matter? What's more? What was it kind of an answer? Apartment. And watching now. I like how to cry. I have to do.
Men short medal say. As I said, we have in central. I said, quite a lot of money, my men down or bent to one the total. Can't have any market, sir. Majority ni minority leader title, young fan will know. Now, only a Ghanaian hunter and no Nedina Kwakudu ha. The official 2020 Nomunyano, son of a band. This time around, this year, we'll grab the moon channel. Good evening.
Who say Vice President the job pork? Who say so? Someone say Vice President is a job pork. You don't know pork? You don't know
hey, but don't want any.
Don't you see person who cannot write in name? Who cannot read or write?
Okay, how's that English, my uncle?
Thank you, Mama. I hope we are doing good this evening.
Very much, uncle, Mr. Law.
Great, my brothers, champion DELA EDEM. Well, you good. The Piago stop for some for Yaminipa, or didn't move from Opa, 80th Michelle, Yamisha, who is my pa, Woody. Well, Alaska, next to see, now we take one radio station being, and now every people say, and this people say, oh, we are election. And I'm say, Nanaku for Nakasa, and I said, Baumia and Nakasa, Alaska, share. Alaska share. You can't get to what you want to clear. Then I thought of what you want to play. And there was President Obi pa so no ga me tell up me fan
me so me na say Emmanuel Chawe do figure when you say Alaska Yankupon Shane wapam for good evening.
Good evening, Alaska. What is it?
Me ba chow dini ba bia okasefi.
Yes, Prime Alaska Sise. Miss Refusal is in the central.
Alaska Sise yanko.
Michia DELA EDEM. Michia Tifonina. Alaska. Me asma me was say and you really say. On the core parliament, you know. Rugby, Nankopon Serrano. But I did a question. Honorable Bagby, they are part of the problem.
I am part of the problem.
I am part of the problem.
Okay, how?
Thank you. Tama Parliament way, Esasiano. MPP had the 137 members and at the Parliament. And the NDC had the 137 members and about Parliament. Yes, sir.
Very well.
And I need independent candidate back up. And I. Ekosi Sano. And can I say, Oma Obia who say, no majority, no minority.
Wow.
No, Obia, no, Obia, you never be original. I do say about Papa, no independent candidate, you know. No one who decided to say, but some MPP, not Obia, and can I find your marking. On should say, I call out Yagin the Bob. And I may say, or a part of the problem, say, oh, Bishop Honorable Barbina. So, other kind of career, need them and I do, or should say, what from the before that channel say, young, and you're doing a home, you're doing a party home, you're doing a man who are also over doing a man who are Ghanaian, you know.
Right.
I ought to say, thank you very much.
Right, welcome. Mami fa me very last caller. Nafi can wrap up. I just love the feedback, Papa. Good evening. Good evening, Alaska. We didn't have your Kasefi. Baby, Mami ko, Mariam,
yes, Alaska, imagine party.
Mariam, young Kodenchabo.
Alaska, good evening.
Yes, dear.
You meet here with here for DELA EDEM. Yamin come on, Yamin Mamma, you could go home. Alaska, me come and MPP for and you walk on here. And then you walk on here. And come about your walk no water. So, walk away campaign or honor. What would you Yamiam? And so you Yamianum. And so soon, Papa, I say, I'm not. I don't know. I can't tell one. But I am school. Or he got to go across them. I don't want to tune that near faster than man. I know about what's now animal. Let's me side. I've seen that now. Tell me, I'm a young say, I'm over Papa. No, I wouldn't need empty or animal. And so you know, near Ghana animal. I am a woman organizer. I get Supreme Court justice. I don't see animal side. That's the one what you make a do.
Right.
You're best NDC for Ghana for Obian. I selected on the money after the best never the CA. Me and you are quite shot so. Me tell me MP have your coil. Let me tell my baby more. Me this company for you Nara. Yamin Kobe Piaho. Near him said December 7. Yakuaya to my Kunibiaba Gata dear. I NDC dear. Made us say
right. Maminda Miriam, I say, Dela, Yako, Irapua.
Alaska medasi bebre. Na me nim se eduane bo aye din sei. Se na ye to beans. Eduane a ye nyina ye common necessity.
That's right.
Common. Obia consider say eburo and emo aye for the moye ewo enunyam kakra sebi ewo beans. Beans dey have any boy for. Send a ton beans 1 bag 3,333 million. And more moving from 160 to 620 under the Nakufado. Nan nipa oye in charge of the economy. Ayaba umia kachire say and digitalization and wasem no oka onka economy wasem wa. Ye de come never to about 2016. 2024 what 2024 about 2 years between ye de come any ni brand ebeto ye hwe asetirem ne ato aba enti se na akufado ne MPP fo ni mu a de ekwaye ye befa so ye to aba de yi omo ne se ya bre wo mo ekom de yen ese to aba tia wo.
Right, DELA EDEM the heavyweight champion at Kano. Egin Jacob.
Alaska, Sir John Ayenso na huru ya kwatia so muti. Alaska, maybe ba member be. Me sure so no painful nada. Sanko no painful adam na jude suma akobesua de bi afun. But na make catch me say this election